bows, shooters, loaders, and casters. We got new theme music. We're glad y'all here. Hope you had a great week. And Rigby helped me pick out the new song. So there's that. There's Brooke out there. Uh, we got the usual suspects in the room here. Let's see if we can make everybody a little bit bigger. Is that better?
Perfect.
There you go.
I don't hardly recognize half you guys.
Well, that's because you're sitting in the dark, brother. How was your week?
Yeah. Throw some light down. Throw the light on it.
Well, it's still a little light outside. It's waning. It was a pretty good week. I got another bunch of videos done. I've been bumping my head against the wall with some troubles with a rifle, trying to figure out what's going on with it, and I haven't been able to figure it out, but I'll figure it out. Got to the range one time. Got out fishing last weekend. First time out. That was pretty good. We're going to go again tomorrow. And that's about it. Pretty good week. Zoomed right by. Mr. Hot Pot, how was your week?
You're muted.
Sorry. Somebody had to do the hillbilly.
Yep, right.
Might as well be me. My week was pretty good. Busy at work. Got a lot of stuff done. Got a new press in. And I've been cranking it out, getting me some man love arm on with that new roller handle. Getting ready for the Nationals to come around. Going to be shooting them. Way behind on making a bunch of videos for products I got in for dots and lights, but I'm slowly starting to generate them out. So hopefully I get a couple more of those out. But good to be here. And I got something new and special tonight on What's Hot Pot Got.
Thanks for being here, Gene.
Thanks.
Mark Thomas, how's your week been? We just watched Mark's new video. If y'all hadn't seen it yet, get over there and check that out.
Been a good week. Been a really good week. We're counting down those last couple of days. The weather's been a little bit nicer. I've been doing a little bit of work on the Jeep, getting that back to being roadworthy. Got to do a little bit more welding maybe tomorrow morning. Actually took a day off on Wednesday and went out to do a little bit of turkey hunting. And I got close, but not close enough. So just been enjoying myself. I did get to the range for a few minutes after school today and posted a little video testing out 2 shotguns. And we'll see what else kind of trouble we can get into this weekend. Hope everybody has a good one. Thanks for having me. Trying to keep up with the side chat there while everybody else was talking, and it's rolling right on by. So let's have ourselves a good evening. How about you, Walter?
Well, thank you, everybody. It's good to see the gang here as always. I can hardly wait to get into our special subjects that we always have on these Friday nights, including reloading from the hot pot. I want to see what he's got, and I want to know more about this new press you got too. So I had a good week actually, but I'm retired, got no place to go, and all day to get there. So how bad can it be, right? So I've been messing with my rimfire stuff the last couple of weeks, and those poor long and short guns have been sitting in the safe, not doing much. So I've been taking those to the range, and we're playing musical scopes, kind of like CW does, and he's cost me more money again this week. So I ended up picking up a couple of those Monstrum scopes. They had one really inexpensive one. It was for like, I guess we shouldn't say what they cost, but it was less than a used pair of tennis shoes, just about. I mean, really inexpensive, a 4 to 12 with lighted reticle and stuff. It was actually a pretty nice scope, and I stuck that on my one of my RPRs. But I'm got another Monstrum scope coming that I ordered today. It's 6 to 18, and I'm going to put that one on there and take that 4 to 12 and put it on my 1022. And there's a red dot on the 1022. I think I'll ship that off to Mark, but looks like he might be in need of one. I'm not real sure.
Sure, he'll appreciate it.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, I got some range time done. Had a couple videos out this week, and more to come this weekend. I got a couple projects we're working on, so it's been a good week to me, and I am happy to be here. Let's go over to Mr. Pat in the whatever. Where is he? He's in the bunker tonight. You don't know about this guy. Okay, he could be in a tractor. He could be on the planter. He could be out and about dodging tornadoes. You just don't know what's going on. Pat, what's up with you over there, Pat?
Well, you're not far off there, Viejo. Last night we were dodging tornadoes and straight line wind last night, but thank the heavens above, we did not have anything come down upon us. I was really thankful for that. But anyway, yeah, 60 acres left to put in the ground. We're gonna go to Thunder on the Prairie, and that's gonna be a good time. That's gonna be a really good YouTube shoot out there at First Nebraska. And yeah, man, I've been slap busy. I mean, just between cattle and crops and everything else and kids. Man, I literally crawled in here about 10 minutes ago and just was like, woo! I don't know whether I'm coming or going. So, yeah. But anyway, thankful to be on tonight. I really am. It rained, so I could slow down a little bit. So, thanks, Sean. Thanks for having me on tonight, Jamie. And what have you been up to?
I work for a living, man.
You poor guy.
I know. I go to work every day. Mark, was today the last day of school for your bunch?
No. We've got 2 weeks left. We're off on Monday, so 4 days next week, and I think the kids go till Wednesday the following week, and we go until Friday. We have a half day Friday, so we're almost there.
Today was the last day of students at school. We got a 3-day weekend, and I think the teachers are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then they're gone, and then we can get to work and start doing some stuff.
Yeah, school's a nice place to be if you weren't for the daggum kids and teachers hanging around all the time, right?
Exactly, man.
Right.
Nice big cool building.
Yeah. There's reloading. Excuse me. There's 76 High Boy reloading. What's going on, brother?
Hey, speaking of school ending, I'd like to give a shout out to our buddy New Texas Ken. Today, not only was his last day at school, but it was his last day of school teaching. He retires as of today. He's a done dude. So
Well
when he
deserved.
gets out there, that's a big deal. It's a big decision to make for school. Well, for anybody, come time to retire.
Yeah, and he's a real encouragement to us.
Yeah, he is.
He's always, when we're down in the dumps, he's picking us up pretty good. So we love you, Tex. I can. I mean, his name says it all.
And you can't do nothing about it.
That's it.
You can't do nothing about it. Let me say that proper. New Tex, I can. We love you, and there ain't nothing you can do about it.
There you go. Ditto, 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 ditto.
So, Hi Boy, let me know if you want a link. I'll send you one.
All right, I just got the text from my son, so I'm going to have to go get him. I'll be back in a little bit. We'll see you then.
Safe travels. See you when you get back.
Thank you.
There he is, y'all. There he is.
He's already. He's early.
All right, count us down.
You ready? On 3, 2, 1. Hey! Hiya, Mario!
West Coast weirdo.
It's the Battle Bean. His own self is right here.
Yep. The absolute sexiest eyebrow Oh, Jesus.
Oh boy.
Self-proclaimed. Just ask him. Okay, we need to do this. Um, Tonight is we're observing, not really celebrating, we're observing Memorial Day weekend. You got to be careful if you're a civilian about how you approach Memorial Day weekend. There's Jason Stewart. Hey, brother. Good to see everybody out there. Golly, guys. We just got started and there's 45 of y'all. Y'all make us proud. Y'all humble us. And speaking of roll call, where is Hillbilly?
Not
Oh.
sure.
Good question.
Yeah, where is Hillbilly?
Dang, good question.
I think
Give me
he's
2
doing.
seconds.
I think he's doing a lot of work on his daughter's house. I hope he makes it in here.
Hmm.
Good
Well,
point.
it seems High Boy's prepping bras right now. I don't know what he's prepping bras for, but maybe.
Oh yeah, boy, hi boy. You need any help with that?
I don't want to wash the bras.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. And my point about Memorial Day is it's a time where we pause and reflect on those who have paid the last full measure of devotion and for our freedom and our liberty. And we got a special ending, and we hope y'all will hang around to the end tonight. And yeah, we're probably getting a copyright strike tonight. So my mom, when I was a kid, had a bumper sticker that said, "You ever try to rape a pair of 38s?" Sorry. You'll get it later.
Hers.
I got this picture of me when I was a kid. Let me see if I can find it.
I saw your video there, Walter, on the purple power or the power, whatever this stuff is. Is
On
you gonna try that for
the
wet
cleaners,
tumbling?
yeah.
Are you gonna try that?
Bama Dad said he was going to try it.
Yeah, I read that. I've been looking for something else because I ran out of my stuff I bought with the wet tumbler last year.
Oh yeah,
And it's like 38 or 39, 40 beans for a bottle of that stuff. It's not cheap. I
Yeah.
can't see why something else can't work just as well. So I tried Dawn. Everybody talks about Dawn, and it works, but it makes lots of suds.
yeah.
I tried
Pretty
hand
much
soap,
anything
does the same
detergent.
thing.
Yeah, I
So
use McGuire's car wash wax, wash and wax. They call it the yellow stuff. Works really good. Doesn't soap up quite as much as the Dawn does. Takes very little. It leaves a pretty. The brass is not so squeaky clean when you're done. It leaves a little bit of that wax on there.
So I just tried some Simple Green, and I know it makes really nice dirty water, so it must be working.
Yeah.
I
did.
also use citric acid. I always use that.
I tried hard seltzer.
Yeah. Got to be some good use for it, right?
You're right.
But I wanted to try that stuff. Purple Power is one, and then the one that you got is another one, but they're very similar. But I had Simple Green, so I threw a couple capfuls of that in there, and it didn't soap up, which is what I wanted to stop.
Yeah, it's hard to get those suds out of that
Yeah.
can without losing stuff.
Yeah.
I gotta rinse it in the can 2 or 3 times and dump it out, and rinse it some more and dump it out.
The first time I did it, it was like I swear it was 10 times I was rinsing that jug out and I couldn't get all the suds out of it. So I said, that's it. I ain't doing that no more.
I just dump it out into a colander and then into another container and put it under the faucet and let it run. Go in there and stir it up every on occasion, you know.
Well, I bought the screens, not the screens for the little rods, the little stainless steel pins. I mean, looks like a storm drain.
Mm-hmm.
You drop it in and screw the top back on, and that works out good. I just rinse right through that. So I take it off the machine and I pull the plastic seal off and I put that little storm drain thing in and tighten that down and I dump it, and then I just fill it back up with I don't know, half a gallon of warm water and slosh that all around. I do that like 3 or 4 times, and then it's usually good. You know, it's pretty much suds are gone in one from regular stuff, but I do it a couple, 2, 3 times because I find if I get lazy with my rinsing, the brass it sticks to my trays of my dryer, which tells me I'm not getting it rinsed off.
Oh yeah. I don't, maybe you're using too much of this stuff. I don't know. I use maybe a teaspoon, if that, in the big size.
I use a
jug.
cap. I use a capful,
That should be.
and I use 2 capfuls in the big one. 1 capful in the little one, and 2 capfuls in the big one. Sometimes I use 3 in the big one if it's really full.
Well,
but a regular load in the big one, I just use 2 capfuls. Now I've got those little pods too.
Oh yeah.
And I tried those pods. No, don't ever put those in a small one. No. Even I bet in the big one, it's way more than you need. I want to try cutting them in half or something, because it's wasteful. It's more clean and power than you need. There he is.
When I wash brass at the shop, I usually do right around 8 gallons at a time. I call a dollop of 2 dollops of Dawn dish soap, and then a 1/4 cup of citric acid. That usually does the job for all that. But that's on a large scale.
Yeah, I use the citric acid.
Soap, less soap is better, man. My boss was using so much soap, it was insane. I started cutting that back because I earned that part of the job too.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. I did the same thing, and I tell you, that water sometimes is opaque. I mean, sometimes it's gray water. It's nasty, but it all depends on how dirty your brass is. Are you just cleaning off a sizing lube, or do you got grungy brass that's been out in the weather for 6 months?
Yeah, or that you've been shooting unique through.
Yeah,
it gets pretty black. The water that I have here is very hard in mineral content, and so nothing much, lathers up very, very well anyway. And I have to give mine a final rinse with a little bit of distilled water, otherwise it spots these mineral deposits all over the brass. So the last thing that I do is put in a big plastic bowl and spread a little distilled water over it and mix that all up in there, drain it one more time, and then put it out in the sun.
Yeah, I agree, Tim. I love Dawn too. It's what I use, what I've always used. It's what my wife liked, and I love it. It's great, but it just has too much suds for the washer, for the tumbler.
Yeah,
and it's not like it's a problem for the suds per se, but like we were just saying, when you rinse it, it doesn't rinse out. It like coats everything and it suds up again with new water. It suds up again with new water. It's like you can't get rid of it. And I'm not using that much. I maybe a tablespoon.
Yeah, that's
probably
it
less.
Is what it is. There's got to be better. Yeah, got to be something a little bit better. If you don't need all those suds. I would say just try even less. Try a half a teaspoon or something like that. Because if the stuff gets clean, most of it is the pins or chips or whichever you're using. and then just plain water, the universal solvent, to move the stuff away from the brass. I'm not convinced that we really need a whole lot of soap anyway, but I do like that car wash wax that I use because the brass isn't quite so squeaky clean. I don't like that. It doesn't pass through your sizer as well when it's all that clean.
No, it does not.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying, Andy. I've got those too. They do work good, but I don't always use my big tumbler. I've got a little mini tumbler that I'll just throw 40 pieces of brass or whatever, 50 pieces of brass, whatever I'm working with, and that's why I got the little one, because I was so wasteful to use all that in the big one. But like Andy says, a tablespoon is too much. I said I use that big one sometimes, Andy, and that thing is 3/4 full of brass. So I don't think a tablespoon is too much for that. It needs it when you got that much dirty brass. But it all depends on how dirty and how much volume you have for your device. There's a mini one and a big one. I use both of them.
Yeah, I've got the little one, and I literally, 4 or 5 drops, and it's sudsy. I mean, and black water coming out of that thing. I mean, swamp water, and
Yeah.
it's just, yeah.
The grossness of that water that comes out of my wet tumbler is what convinced me to not go back to dry tumbling. All of that
Amen.
stuff that is coming off in that water, it's got to be coming off with dry tumbling too, and then it goes up, it gets that grungy dust everywhere.
It's in your lungs. You're
Mm-hmm.
breathing that, and that's why we went to wet tumbling to begin with. Del Polk says he still uses the dry tumbler. I still use a dry tumbler too, but
I
I
do.
use it for getting the lube off of my sized cases.
Exactly. That's what I do.
Yep, and I think that's best for doing that job too. It's way better than trying to wet tumble all over again.
Because 10 minutes, it's good. 10 minutes there, it's gone. And if you wet tumble, it's an hour or more before you can use it because you got to dry it out.
Mm-hmm.
So other than that, I would use the wet, but it just takes so long to dry it.
Well, I got this thing. Where did it go? I've got the tub I made for the Frankfurt Arsenal, the Harbor Freight thing, and it's back there. Anyway, y'all know it's a 4-inch piece of PVC pipe, and when I put my lubed cases back in there to clean the lube off, it makes a film all on the inside of that little drum, and I don't like that. So I just started dry tumbling them again. By my dad, I mix them about half and half. I love the way the corn shines, and I love the way the walnut cleans. And it seems like that walnut's a little more abrasive.
Yeah, walnut is tougher, stronger, more abrasive. It's for dirtier brass. Like if you pick up brass that's been outside for 6 months, that's when you want to use the the walnut. But if you're just taking, just looking to shine it up, or just looking to take the lube off, corn cob. Corn cob does a really nice job of getting it bright, shiny if you leave it in there.
The corn cob stuff is a little bit absorbent, and the walnut is not at all. It's got little tiny sharp edges on it, so it's real good for taking the crusty stuff off there, like CW was saying.
Yeah.
And does a better job on the inside of the case, I think. But for taking lube off, corn cob's the best.
Yeah. Yeah, I use a used dryer sheet, Jason, for particularly on my powder measures.
Yeah, dryer sheets are definitely a handy thing for the reloader. They don't leave behind anything, but they remove static,
Mm-hmm.
and they're a godsend for some powder measures. Yeah, I use a sonic cleaner too, but that's more for. I use that for my reloading dies. I use that for gun parts. Um, I don't really use it for brass. I tried it a couple times, and I guess it's okay, but I've got better things for brass, I think. But it works good on the dies.
Yeah. Yep. I've used sonic cleaner with simple green, a little bit of simple green in it and hot water to clean up funky grungy dyes that I got off eBay or something like that. It cleans them up pretty well.
Yep. And when I used corn cob a lot, do finish car polish is what I used. Yep.
Hmm.
That's a good recipe right there,
Yep.
Reloader.
You cut them up into little cubes and just let it run through. Yep. Yeah, I've seen a lot of guys talking about doing that. But do finish car polish is that's like a that stuff's great for
I
corn
got
cob.
it. I gotta get me some of
Don't
that.
don't spend $20 on rejuvenator that you get like 3 ounces. Get a whole big 18-ounce bottle of new finish. Last you half your life. Yeah, I've got some old 38s that have the nickel tumbled off. 357s too. They still go
Yeah,
bang.
I've
Still
got a
work.
few in 357, just like you were saying, that are getting to look like they're almost, the nickel part's almost transparent. It's getting so thin. You can almost see through to the brass underneath it. But
Yep.
So, Bama Dad, you need to send me a link to those glass hoppers.
get him to send you a link to his bank account too, because they're expensive. They're nice.
Yeah, there's some good stuff going out there on that side chat.
Well, I'm telling you, look at them all.
It's running. It's running good.
When I first started reloading, I think I've told you the stories before, but the first stuff that I reloaded was 44 mag and a little bit of 44 special. It's the other way around now with that caliber, but I didn't have a tumbler. Didn't even know about tumbling and brass. I hand cleaned every one. Just brought them back from shooting and wiped them off with a little Brasso and scrubbed them up that way. If they were really, if they got in the dirt, put them in a bowl in the sink with hot water and detergent and rinse them off that way. But I wasn't loading hundreds and hundreds and hundreds at a time either. I was loading 50 at a time, so it wasn't too bad.
But you gotta be careful about what you put in there, cause you will. If you're doing 223, you put too much of that stuff in there.
If it gets any kind of moisture, if you got any kind of moisture in your cases, you'll get them stuck full. But I'll tell you a secret to get it out. You got that long quarter 20 stem sticking out with a vibrator. Just pick up your brass, 2 or 3 of them, and hold them against that, and it goes on the side, and it knocks all the corn cob out of the inside, right back into your bucket.
There's crash.
Yeah, I don't use pins. Yep. I always give it at least an hour. Seldom more than 2, unless I step away.
Yeah, after I bought a lifetime supply of Lemmy Shine in one of those little jars that's about that big, because you use so little of it, I found out about the folks who handcraft candles use pure citric acid. You can get it at places like Hobby Lobby for next to nothing. It's dog cheap. That Lemmy Shine's expensive, and
Very. Yeah.
I saw James Pollard's video today
Yeah.
about
He's got a nice bench.
that bench he built.
And nice
Yeah.
brass pitcher.
yeah,
Yep.
and that bench ain't going anywhere. The sucker looked really solid.
Yeah, and reloaders are like, you don't want your brass to hit the ground. You just don't. Because it just makes you
It,
pucker up, buddy.
it was funny. I had my first summer pistol match. I haven't shot in 2 years, and that was Monday night. We had that, and it was funny you mentioned brass hitting the ground because I had forgotten about that. I've got a little. It looks like a fish tank net, but it's big. Stands on a base, and I set that beside me on the bench, and that catches all my brass, like a windsock or whatever.
Mhm.
Well, a lot of guys don't have it, don't use that, and they're all scrambling before after the ceasefire. Oh, I got the red stripes. I got the blue stripes. I'm missing 3 cases.
Yeah.
They're all scrambling for their brass.
It's
For
funny around
target
these
changes.
parts when I'm at the range on the pistol side, there's almost nobody ever there besides me that's a reloader, and so they're just throwing their brass out in front of the line at that range that's all concrete floors, and they use a big squeegee on a long handle and push it forward underneath the front wall out to the area in front of the shooting line, which is also concrete. And then they come by later with big shovels and pick it all up. Well, those guys don't know about reloading, and they're always coming around my station and thinking they're doing me a favor by sweeping my brass all the way out there. And I turn around and yell, I said, leave that brass alone. Dang it, that's my brass. And what are you, some kind of a brass nut? I said, yeah, kind of, but I need it. And leave it alone. You're not doing me any favors.
Yeah.
I need that back.
Yep.
You know what I do, Walter, when I go to the range and I use one of those, that's one of those floor water squeegee for a floor.
Yep.
What they use to move water around after flooding. What I do is I scoop all mine, then I get down and I throw that thing out into the area and I pull it back.
Mm-hmm.
So I leave with way more than I shot.
Yeah. Well, I still usually come back with more than I left there anyway. But the some of it, I don't know what happens to it. It goes down a magic rabbit hole someplace, and the biggest culprits for me are 10 millimeter and 38 super, the ones that are hardest to get a hold of. They just disappear out there. I'll shoot 50 and can only find 35 of them.
Yep.
Guaranteed. I don't know where they go.
When I first got that 300 hammer, I think I lost 1 case every single time I took it out. Shoot 1,300,000 blackouts and don't lose any. Get a 300 hammer and I lose 1 or 2 cases every time I go.
Magic.
Yep.
Whole thing's just magic.
The more obscure it is, the higher percentage of it getting lost.
Mm-hmm. Crash, yeah, I get that. Looky here.
Ah. We don't need no stinking badges.
So we need to call out the side chat. We need to say hey to all you guys on TV. So what are they typing in? How about SASS?
There you go.
Quick, easy to spell. I'm all about that.
There it is. CW beat me. Dang it. I'm
Woohoo!
getting old.
Fast folks. I had it in my hand.
That's anybody that don't know, that stands for Single Action Shooting Society, I think. But I'm not positive. And they're off the page. And I got a mouse. And we're kind of missing old hillbilly, ain't we?
Yeah.
So we got CW Longshot in the panel on the side chat. And first up, we got DJ Play Nice. What's going on, buddy? Walter Viejo is on the panel as well. And Colt 1927. Ricky Baird, who's absolutely smitten with cowboy action shooting. We got Reloading from the Hot Pot. It's out there as well. And Speak of the Devil. And good to see the hillbilly. Where was I at? Colt 1927, Ricky Baird. Reloading from the Hot Pot, Walks Fletcher. Bama Dad, Senior Master Sergeant Bulldog, who's back from getting his sandwich. Tim S., 6-shooter Texan. Jason Stewart, Alaska 1 Andy. Gizzard Gary, Crash is out there. Rich White, Paul Loud, New Tex I Can, Fluffy 10mm Jeep Guy, Tommy Boy, Rollis Carvelis, Ron 2A Matters, Ashley A, Tactical Fud, Bobby Barlow, Reloader 762, Tactical Rabbit, Floridian, Hillbilly Up, James Pollard, Mike Hester, Colt 1927 was here. There's Bama Dad again, Dale Pogue, Andy 79, Z28, the Zinc Master, Dr. Zinc, the Robe, Duffer 426, Andre D'Angelo, Duffer 426 again. My bad. Yeah, mine's got 6 numbers. Hillbilly's here. There's reloading for 76 High Boy reloading. And I think that's everybody. That is a nice bench, Mr. Pollard. I was impressed. And I hope you saw my comment. I said, I pity the limb that falls on that bench.
Yeah.
The bench ain't going to break. It's going to be the limb. Hillbilly, how was your week, buddy?
Hey guys, how y'all doing? Oh man, just busy. I'm so sorry I was late getting on here. Actually a good week, just been a very busy week. Say hi to everybody out there in the side chat and on the panel.
Well, thanks for joining us. Glad you made it.
Me too, buddy.
Main thing we want to talk about tonight is Memorial Day. The difference between Memorial Day, 4th of July, Independence Day, and Veterans Day. We need to be careful as civilians not to say Happy Memorial Day to a veteran, because they are going to be, it's a day that they're pretty bummed out, service members, because if you served in the military, and even if you did not see active combat, you probably have a lot of friends who did, and you probably got some friends that didn't make it back. So that's what Memorial Day is when we stop to reflect on the cost of freedom, when we stop and honor those men and women who served in the armed services, who paid that last full measure of devotion to preserve the freedom and liberty that we are able to enjoy in this country. I know it's not as free as it used to be, but yes, we still are the freest country and the greatest country in the world. And I've got theories about that, and we'll talk about it. But yeah, it's a time that we reflect on the true devotion that our service members have to preserve our way of life and enable us to gather and enjoy topics that are not welcome in a lot of places. So we're thankful for anybody and everybody that served. Please, when Veterans Day comes around, make sure you tell your vets how much you love them and how much you appreciate them. And on Independence Day, we talk about the signing of the Declaration of Independence, where we declared our independence from another nation. And so exactly, Bulldog. It's a happy occasion in that we're off. We get a long weekend. It's the official start of summer in America, but it's a somber occasion, especially for those who served in the military as they honor their friends who did make it back. And whereas we will uh, always appreciate our veterans who served, we just need to come along beside them and just love on them as they remember their friends who weren't as fortunate as them. And there's a lot that goes into that. And that's enough about that. So we appreciate y'all. We do. Do we have anybody on the panel who's lost a family member in service to our country?
Well, my little brother, he did not die in a conflict, but he passed away after the conflicts were over.
Yeah, all my family made it home. Some missing pieces, but made it home.
Yeah,
Our
same here.
condolences, Michael.
I was fortunate enough that all my family's has made it home. So
See, CW says missing pieces. My granddad died with two pieces of metal in him that he wasn't born with. So sometimes you get extra pieces that are not as good, but when you come back with extra pieces, there's pieces of you left over there still. So, and
yeah, I have a son-in-law and my only two nephews are both in the service, and so or all three of them are. But so always proud of them, but worry about them too. So
yeah. Yeah, 6-shooter. My granddad had a piece of German shrapnel and a Japanese bullet in him till he died. There's Mr. Kyle Lusk. I'm gonna pick him up Monday morning at 9 o'clock. We're going to the National Cemetery in Canton, Georgia. So if anybody's in the area and would like to meet us over there, we'd be honored with the company. So yeah, that's the main thing I wanted to discuss tonight was, and I know it's a downer, and I've got a special ending planned. If I can pull it off, we'll probably get cut off the air instantly. So there's all of that, but it's going to be worth it, and I'm not going to be sorry. So yeah. And we will deviate from our verse of the week this week. We got a special verse of the week for Memorial Day this weekend as well. And Walter already knows what it is. Crickets, crickets, crickets.
well, even if you've ever read the book that Francis Scott Key, when he wrote the Star Spangled Banner, in the fort that the British were bombing was mainly women and children, and there's bodies piled holding that flagpole up so it wouldn't fall over. So there's a lot that gave over the years, and we're reaping the benefits of their doings.
I'm sorry, Walt. We need to honor those, but yeah, I understand, bro. I understand. Um, uh, Fort McHenry was the fort. Hillbilly.
Yeah. I couldn't remember the name of it for a second.
The only reason I know is I got a coffee cup with it on there. You
Oh,
know,
do you?
yeah, it's at work. It's one I keep at work.
Oh, nice.
I have a Fort McHenry. Yeah, my buddy went to tour Fort McHenry, and all I got was a crappy old coffee cup. Right? No, it's nice that people go places like that and they bring you something back.
Yeah. Do you,
Also,
you you remember the T-shirts? I think it was probably in the '80s that said like, "My
yeah,
parents or my grandparents went to Hawaii, and all I got was his T-shirt or something."
yeah, that was popular for a while.
Yeah.
And I also have a mini ball. Uh, Walter will know what a mini ball is. It's not a ball at all. It's a
It's a
conical,
big bullet. Yeah.
and
Hollow
it's
base bullet.
hollow base. Uh, Seemed like it was 56 caliber, maybe 67 caliber, but it went in. They call it a mini ball because the guy that designed it was French, and his name was Manet. And you know, when we say it, it's mini. You know, and that's how it came about. There's Big Al. Liven this bunch up, Big Al. We've been talking about bad things tonight. So, yeah, Meanie, but not the mouse. Exactly, DJ. I've got it on a card at the shop. I need to bring that home. It's time for me to start migrating some of my stuff that I have at my shop to home. I need to build me a shop here that'll hold all of that stuff. I got a lot of collectibles like
There you
deer head.
go.
Got 3 deer heads at my office.
Oh, nice.
Time to bring them home, you know, because I'm hoping I'll be retired in about 3 years, and I don't want to be spend the last 2 weeks that I'm working hauling all that crap to the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You accumulate a certain mass of BS when you work at a place for 34 years. You know,
Mm-hmm.
speaking of Memorial Day, I'll tell you a story about the building that I work in. Um, it started out as uh, I forget the first name of it, but I believe it was Celanese Fibers Corporation. Then it was Two B's. It was bought out by an Italian firm, and then it was no, Celanese was the last one. I think it was anyway. It was they made rayon, the fabric in that building that I work in. It was a big uh, textile mill. You know, they were scattered across the South, uh, and they made rayon, which was the fabric they used to make parachutes during World War II. And they built this place in the 30s, and the building is still standing. And of course, the textile mill's been gone a long time, and they've repurposed the buildings and such. But when I first came to work there in the 80s, I found a bolt of green olive drab cloth, and I pulled me off about probably 6 or 8 yards of that stuff. Well, I took it down this past week and got it washed. We got this big washing machine where they wash the the dust mops and stuff like that to clean the schools with and in the back. But that fabric is what they use to make the duffel bags. the sea
Oh, yeah?
bags. So they made a lot more than just that during the war. Just they made the fabric for the parachutes, and they made those sea bag that fabric for the sea bags. So it's a cool place. There's actually a fallout shelter back there, and yeah, it's really cool. I need to do that, Big Al. So last week we went. Ricky Baird and I last Saturday went and shot our. Well, we went to watch our first cowboy action match, and I had already joined Single Action Shooting Society, and I don't know what I'm doing. Bubba's out there. What's going on, Bubba?
He says, "Heyo."
Yeah, it is stout material, DJ. I really like it. I'm trying to figure out something I can do with it. But yeah, I'm shooting. I shot my first stage, and hey, Defense Dad. But my shotgun locked up on me, so I didn't get to finish. I didn't get a time because my dang old shotgun locked up. So
That's better than a knee or elbow locking up.
Yeah.
yeah, and
Couldn't
hooked
figure
it
out
up.
what it was.
That might happen to me.
Sometimes it's as simple as a firing pin sticking in a primer. You get some soft primers.
Yeah,
That'll do it. Or primer
yeah.
flow. Did you look at the cases?
No, they went flying, man.
You might have had primer flow into the firing pin hole.
Yeah, I couldn't shoot I couldn't fire the second. I need to get a shotgun with one trigger, right? 6-shooter Texans out there, or anybody else that shot. I ran poor old Walks off talking about.
No, you didn't. He's had a rough day. He's in a lot of pain. You didn't run him off. He's just tired.
So I used my two Blackhawks. I used the 44 Special and the 44 Magnum, and did okay with them. And then, of course, the new Marlin lever action 44 Specials. But so 6-shooter Texan, is your coach gun? Is it a single trigger? No, two triggers. Okay.
Yeah, two triggers means two guns. One trigger means one gun, meaning that if one side breaks, still got the other side. When
Okay.
when a one single trigger breaks, the whole gun don't work. That was the big thing with double rifles with Africa and Dangerous Game.
Mm-hmm.
It's two guns. It's one gun, but it's two actions, unique of each other.
Okay, so I got to learn to go move between those triggers quicker, and
Well, you
I
just
got
get
it.
the Kel-Tec KSG 12 gauge, and then you can hold like 20 rounds.
Was that designed before 1900?
Nope.
Well, that's the rule. If you're going to use it, it's got to be designed. Uh, be designed before 1900.
My goodness.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. 6-shooter just mentioned is a lot of those triggers are recoil set, and if you're shooting really light loads, they may not set.
No, yeah. He just had some video up this past weekend, I think last Saturday or Sunday, and he was out testing some loads with his side by side, among other things they were working on, practicing out there, and he had a couple loads that he thought were too light. And
Yeah, that's why I like the side by sides and the pumps. You don't got any feeding issues. You don't have any, cycling issues. You don't have. They just work. Woohoo!
That's a nice
Oh, nice, Gary.
Gary, those
Nice,
things are
Gary.
so much fun, but boy, they kick. They don't weigh nothing.
Defense dad. Depends on which team you're coaching, right?
Yeah. Colt, Gatlin 12 gauge.
I remember my dad, he had a coach belt. He coached us boys on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Not today.
Yeah, I'll work on at 6. One of the ladies told one of the guys at that match we were at that if you'd cut the amount of powder you're putting in them shotgun shells in half, you'd be able to shuck them empties out of that thing. You wouldn't have to reach up there and pull them out like that. You just shuck them out. And I'll get there.
Polish them chambers.
Yeah. Yeah. Get me a brush and some of that boar paste, JB.
JB board paste. Yep.
Yeah.
Have them gleaming bright.
Put it on a drill. Put it on the drill.
Yep.
And
Yep.
okay, man, we're late for doing what we do here. Let me see if I can. Hold on, man.
That guy down there.
Yeah.
Poke him. See if he's sleeping. There he is.
The old stink eye.
Yeah, I'm just listening. Just having a quiet night.
All right, here we go.
Push the button.
It's time for What's Hot Pot Got? What has Hot Pot got tonight? Let's see if we can.
Hot Pot has something new and something really cool come through the machine. See if we can get this to focus in here. Oh, come on. You did it for me earlier.
There goes.
There we go. There it goes. We have a 500 Automax.
Wow.
This is the 500 Automax cartridge. It says here the 500 Automax is a versatile cartridge that can be loaded with bullets ranging from 350 to 600 grains. Hand loaders can use bullets from 200 to 700 grains. The 500 Automax has a factory load muzzle energy of over 4,000 foot-pounds, which is double that of a 50 Beowulf. Incredible. Bighorn Armory developed this 500 Automax. It's a rimless, straight-walled cartridge based on the 500 Smith & Wesson. Wish I would focus in better.
That's insane power of that, little 50 caliber case.
It's absolutely insane. But you can't get to focus in for me. That thing is just, and this is Starline brass. Buffalo, Starline, and another company make brass for this. I mean, this is just crazy incredible. A few of these came through the machine, probably 24 of them or so. But this cartridge was actually developed in 2018 and was available on the market in 2020. So it's still a very new cartridge out there, but it is done on the AR style platform, and they call it the AR 500. And it's a beefed up AR 10 lower with a special cut bolt with the bolt carrier group to house this 500 Smith & Wesson. Not liking my camera tonight.
There it goes. It's almost focused.
My fingernails in focus, but the end of the damn junk casing isn't. Oh well.
Probably
Look
choke
it
it up
up
on the case.
Yeah, there's not much information on this out there. It's very limited. There's just stuff from the Bighorn Armory, basically. And Greg Buchel is the one who designed this from Bighorn Armory. But this is supposed to be the banger for an AR-10 platform.
AR-10?
AR-10. They call it an AR-500, but it's a beefed up AR-10 lower.
That's insane power.
That's incredible. 4,000 foot-pounds of energy.
Wow.
I mean, that's. They said it's only really good and accurate for 100 yards or so, plus or minus. But man, if you smack something at 100 yards with that, it's game over.
That sure ought to be able to take down a squirrel.
Yes, this will definitely take down a squirrel.
Even rabid one.
The guy wanted a semi-auto 500 Smith & Wesson, so he built one. That is what Hot Pot's got, and I thought that was a cool one tonight.
That is
very cool.
That was ultimately cool.
The things I find. And even got next week's.
So Bulldog just recognized the backdrop for tonight. There's a picture that he sent us. And so, yeah,
It
there's
is
that.
nice.
So let me see if I can do this, and that's going to be a negative. Mark's back.
Hello. Glad to be back. Quick trip. Didn't have to worry too much. And I'm going to take a quick second to be a proud papa. Seth came off the bus with his trombone and a big old medal around his neck. Part of this band trip today was a little band competition at Hershey Park. And he got best soloist for jazz band.
Outstanding.
Congratulations.
Congrats, Seth.
Yeah. I recorded his solo at the concert last week, and I just haven't gotten a chance to upload it. It is fantastic. He does a heck of a job. It's more than a solo. It's a feature in one of the songs, and he plays almost the whole time, just looking like a cool old jazz cucumber.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's
Super
so
proud.
cool. I'd
Super
love
proud.
to hear it because I'm a
Yep.
trombone player too, right?
Yep. Well, I'll have to remember to upload it later.
Who's that little guy on a paint with a 45?
Ride an old paint.
Got the single action Colt and a saddle holster at probably what, 5 years old?
Yeah.
I love that picture. I don't remember that. I really don't. But
That is a cool picture.
I remember riding horses a lot when I was a kid, and always wanting a horse and being able to ride fast and all that. But we lived in town and didn't have a lot of money, so
First horse I got, my grandpa bought me, and it was a Shetland pony. And that thing is fine if you just walk around. Have you ever tried to make her run or anything like that? She'd run under tree limbs, try to knock you off her back.
Our Appaloosa
And
did the same thing.
if that didn't work, then she'd just lay down and roll over on you.
And she didn't do that. If she saw a low
Shetlands are
limb,
notorious
she was
for
done. You were riding too long. Yep, there was nothing you could do. She was going to scrape you right off her back,
Yep.
and then she'd turn around and look at you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
and laugh.
Yep, she was
The
a
one
character.
my favorite one was a retired barrel racer named Champion Traveler. And, he was 17 and a half hands, a gilded stallion,
Nice.
registered quarter horse. Obviously, you can tell that by the name, but he could flat out fly. He'd outrun any horse around. And he would wait until they got way out in front of him before he started running, and then he'd run them down and pass them.
Yeah, he was just making sure it was going to be a race.
Yeah,
Yeah. Give him a head start.
yeah, and then pass them
I
like
bought,
tied to
bought
a stump.
bought my oldest daughter when she got old enough, she wanted to barrel race and got her a black Arabian, and it's her nickname was Gears, and boy, she had some gears. I ended up getting rid of her. She had too much fire in her for my daughter at that age. She was ready to go at all times.
That's so cool, though, man. Yeah, horses are dangerous, Rabbit. They can be. They can be tough to handle. You ain't got a good one.
Yeah, especially if you get one that's a runaway or takes off on you, man. That's a scary situation right there.
Yeah, that's the way Champ would do with me, man. He wasn't interested on what I was telling him to do. He was interested in beating the other horses, outrunning them. And it's scary when you're riding on the back of a horse like that and he's going as wide open as hard as he can go, and you don't know if there's any holes or gopher holes out there in that field or nothing. And you know, it's kind of like riding your Harley on the interstate at about 85 miles an hour, and it's like, man, I hope my tire don't go down. You know, it's the same concept.
Yep.
There's Casey Dolph.
We had a lot of snakes, and that was the biggest worry. Our horse didn't like snakes at all, and she would just stop the crap out of them. But you had to hold on tight because she would stomp them, and it didn't matter. You were walking along or whatever, she'd get a whiff or know they were there, and most of them, thankfully, they were just black racers or something. But she didn't like them just the same. She would stomp them.
My grandpa, I did the same thing he did. He always hung up paper bags and all kinds of stuff in the stalls. So, they're getting used to noise and stuff and not spook as easy. And but
She used to she used to get real rambunctious in the pen there, and she would scare herself. She would be eating, or she'd fart and boom, she'd kick the side wall, and then she'd come out of there like a bolt of lightning. Wouldn't go back in for like a day. She did to herself.
oh yeah, we had an apricot tree out there, and they'd eat those apricots, and they'd give them some gas. And oh my goodness,
Oh,
talking about a bucking show, watching them.
we had electric fence around the area where we kept her most of the time, and we didn't run it all the time. You didn't have to run it all the time, and it was so funny for me to watch her test that fence. She would those lips would go, and she would get it near the fence. She'd quiver and quiver and quiver and quiver and get it near the fence, and then finally she touched the fence and it wouldn't be on, and she would just go up to it and lean, and she would pop like 4 posts and then walk out in the yard. She'd be in the garden. She'd be in the yard. She'd be in the neighbor's yard. She never ran away, but she would wander around to the nicer grass.
Yeah, Colt out there, something about loading horses and trailer, and getting him done that lead rope up to the front and pull out the side window and just drag that dude in sometimes. But we had one, she's a kid's horse, and she loved the kids, and she knew when it was Shodio rodeo night, and I come pulling into the gate, and she'd run along up there by me, and I would literally get out. I'd open the stock trailer door, and she'd load up, and I'd shut it. I mean, she's ready to go. She knew that she's going to go, go riding with the kids and stuff. So.
Okay, talking about Memorial Day, back to that subject. Not to, I got emails. American Reloading got new powders that they've ordered, added. Graff and Sons is having a holiday, Memorial Day. Al from Craft Holsters has 20% off, and a donation to U.S. vets for Memorial Day weekend. From Bud's Gun Shop, Winchester has rebates. Inline Fabrication has 10% off everything site wide in honor of those. And Harbor Freight Tools has 10% off any product, no exclusions for Memorial Day weekend. Is that crazy talk?
Yeah, so Powder Valley had free hazmat today. I think they just said it was just today.
Let's see. Mid-South Shooters Supply has free hazmat this weekend only. Plus, they have Peterson brass on sale. And if you order 4 pounds of Vitabori, you get any purchase. You get the free Vitabori guide. They have an RCBS sale. Their Rebel press is on sale for less than $2.25.
That's a big beefy press. I've got one of those.
You like the Rebel?
It has a lot of good qualities, but it's not perfect like a lot of girlfriends I've had over the past years. But pretty beefy and tough and stout. You can't. It doesn't have a built-in priming system of any kind. You either got to use a ram prime or prime off press.
You're talking about the press, your girlfriends again.
Well, these days they're kind of the same. I mean, one's as good as the other.
Either or.
It's not
actually
a big
one's
negative.
more useful than the other.
I haven't seen very many press priming systems that are actually worth a hoot.
Certainly not from Lee. Precision Reloading has received a shipment of Alliant powders. They're showing 7, 16, 15, 19, 25, and red dot in their email. Ramshot has a new Magnum powder called Grand. So if you want interested in that. And of course, don't forget Gene's outfit down there.
Yeah,
Republic Ammunition.
Yeah, there's a lot of great deals out this weekend. PSA, BCA, a lot of them are just having some great sales.
Arkin Optics has a great sale. Yep.
I've got that somewhere too. Let me see if I can find it. Yes. They've got a Memorial Day sale. $100 off the EP8 and $100 off the EPL4 4x16x44 first focal plane, and $110 off the EPL4 6x24x50 first focal plane. Now, the difference between the ELP and the SH is the EP line's using Japanese glass and the SH using Chinese glass.
There's a couple couple of other differences too. They're a 30 millimeter, not a 34, and in some of the sizes where the SHs are all 34s.
Kind of off subject, but is it Memorial Day or Labor Day when they always had the big mattress sales for your beds?
Probably both.
Yeah.
Like going by the used car place, say, look, they have a sale.
Yeah.
When don't they have a sale?
Right. Three Jeep Discovery, we just glad to see you, buddy. Hillbilly, remind me if Bubba's going to be off on Friday nights, we can send him a link when he's available.
Yeah, you bet.
Bam and Ed, I saw that video pop up, but I didn't have time to watch it. It was almost a half an hour, 45 minutes, I think, long. But I'm interested to watch that. That should be a good one. He said she's the spokesperson for Arkin.
Mm-hmm.
I just got a Discovery optic scope. Moondog kind of did the transaction for me. They want me to test it on a muzzle loader. I'm going to put it on that tactical percussion muzzle loader I made. I'm waiting on some parts. I got a rail to bolt on the top of it, and I got to get some rings. I might have to put some pretty tall rings on there to make sure it clears the hammer.
It might come with it. Some of
It didn't.
It didn't.
No, it didn't come with rings. That's okay, because I'm going to have to. I have a really tall set. I think I might need them, or I'm going to have to grind a little tiny bit off the hammer, which I don't want to do, but I will. It's not like it's going to devalue it. I already did that.
That's a nice little scope too.
Yeah. I opened it to take a look at it. I might do a unboxing.
You know what? As an idea for you, you're handy. Pull the hammer off that. It should be on there with just a screw.
Yeah.
And you might be able to make an alternate hammer.
I thought about that, or I thought about just kind of heating it up and bending it a little bit.
Yeah. You could probably heat it up and bend it too. It's just, you got to look and see what it is. If it's a cast thing, I'd be worried about it. But
Mark will make a leather hammer for it.
they're generally pretty simple. So you might be able to make something.
I'm sure I can come up with something. Just waiting those couple more days to have the time to do it.
It's a CVA.
Yeah.
You may be able to get another hammer cheap. Then you could modify one.
Yep, that's true.
There's James Pugh. Been waiting on you,
Hey,
dude.
James.
Hey,
Yes.
James.
Howdy, James. Oh, he's got to run into work.
I was going to take a cartridge overall length measurement of one of my 35 Remington rounds for you. And I looked in that book too, James, and there's really there's not any load data on that particular bullet. So you're on your own as far as cartridge overall length is concerned. But I'll measure some of mine and send you the measurement I have. Cool, Ashley. Yeah, we'd love to have Kingpin. He used to come on here a good bit.
Yeah, he did.
He's not too far from me. I have to get down and see him.
Yeah, he's in Maryland somewhere.
Yeah, he can't be but 2 hours from me. Maybe an hour and a half.
Next week, we got to get a invite over to West too.
Yeah, it's Alabama Reloader coming on with us next week. That's gonna be fun.
Yep. Special guest. Haha.
We've been waiting on him for a long time.
Yep. Yep.
And I'm ashamed and embarrassed. He don't live 3 hours from me. I need to go over and shoot with him.
He's got a nice range he shoots at.
I've seen the videos. So yeah, our buddy New Tex I Can retired. I can't believe that.
Nice.
Yeah, he's
Congratulations.
yeah. Was yesterday? Today was his last half day, right?
Yeah,
Today,
he was
yeah.
he was at the shop at work today. Part of the day anyway.
For a little while.
He's an inspiration to me.
Yeah. How many more years you gonna work, Mark? You thinking?
Well, that's a good question. I know Seth's got 4 more years of high school, and then we'll see what happens for college. I don't know what benefit it will be to keep working or not work, or who knows. We'll see. I know I got a good, 10, 15 more in me, but if I don't have to stay that long, I won't.
Well,
I don't blame you for that.
teachers around here, since we're so close to Arkansas, they'll work their time here, like in our school, basically retire from that, then go to Arkansas and get a teaching job, and then get to retire two different, pensions.
Yeah, do 30 in Missouri and 10 in Arkansas, and yeah. But where we're at, they do that with Alabama here.
Oh, do they? Good.
Yeah, because I got to go see Bama Dad. I need to take him a channel sticker. I got some new ones, Mark. You may not like them.
Oh, that reminds me, Jamie. I got new ones coming again. I got bigger ones coming. I ordered them.
I started to buy a shirt this week. Have you ever ordered one of their T-shirts, Hillbill?
No.
From who?
Sticker Mule.
Sticker Mule.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Good
They're
stuff.
actually pretty good T-shirts. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty good stuff.
Yeah, they're-
I got a few of them.
They're tagless, I believe, too, which I like. Tag back there, itching your back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big thing. And usually if they got a tag and it's aggravating me, I'll cut it off. And then you don't know what size it is. Yeah. I know. Where's Pat when you need him? It's a first world problem, right? Like your dang up arrow don't work. So, all right, it's time for the verse of the week. Are y'all ready for the verse of the week?
Yes, sir.
Let her rip.
Okay.
Leadership.
This is totally different from what we've been doing as our Sermon on the Mount. We're skipping over to John. Have I told y'all how much I love John? I just love John's Gospel, 1st and 2nd and 3rd John, and Revelations. But Revelations, you better pack a lunch because you're going to be there a while.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
John chapter 14. And this follows the discourse on, I think I need to set this up for a little bit. when you're reading through John's gospel, right about at the end of chapter 12, Jesus' public ministry ends. And what you read from there on in John's gospel is Jesus focusing on his disciples. Um, so that's pretty cool. Uh, Somebody else has an iPhone. So, and what we're seeing here in chapter 14, begins his discourse on I am the vine, you are the branches, the Father is the vine dresser, and that. Y'all know that. So when we get down to verse 11, we read, These things I have spoken to you, that my joy may remain in you, and that your joy may be full. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Notice it says commandment. It's not a suggestion. He expects us to love each other. Verse 13. Greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends. So that is the last full measure of devotion, and that to me is what Memorial Day is all about. And if we dig into that, and um, obviously that's referencing those who die or are willing to die in the service of other people, and that makes me think about our military folks. Uh, but you also got to remember that Jesus is preparing his disciples for any minute they're going to come and arrest him at this point, and then he's going to be crucified. So, but then there's other applications as well, and we're not talking about just our physical body here. I'm trying to figure out exactly how to say this. It's one thing to be willing to, particularly for Christians, it's one thing to be willing to die for your friends, for your family, for your particularly your other, like
Spouse.
Ricky, your spouse, your grandkids, your kids, family, direct family. But I think it's even more of a sacrifice sometimes when we actually live for them. Our life is consumed with taking care of those. I think that's an even sometimes that's even more of a commitment, more of a sacrifice, because you think about the Christian life, and we just see right here that Jesus commands us to love one another as he has loved us, as he loved us, as he loved those disciples, which in turn relates to us. And I just think, you know, if we live and we give our life, we spend our life, we invest our life into our loved ones, taking care of them, making sure they're fed, making sure they have a house over, roof over their head. I think that's even more of a commitment than actually dying for them, because for the Christian man and woman, when you die and you leave this earth, you're in the presence of a holy God. I mean, it don't get any better than that. So I think maybe I'm missing the point here, and if I am, let me know. But you know, this is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends. And I think that includes being willing to die to save them and being willing to live to serve them. That's what love to me is. And that's my take on it. Anybody else got any comments?
You said it well.
No, even I can't come up with anything on top of that. Usually I talk forever about such matters, but that sums it up. That's exactly as you expressed it, Jamie. That's the meaning of Memorial Day.
Thanks, Big Al.
Yeah, and I mean, he's not asking; he's a telling. You know, so
Yeah.
well, when you put other people before yourself, I think the good Lord's ingrained in us. I mean, not only does it bring joy to someone else, but also to your inner being. It feels good to give, and so that would be an ultimate you know gift or sacrifice, and um the reward must be, I mean, it's probably amazing when someone does that.
So that's what I wanted to do for the Memorial Day verse of the week. Absolutely, Bulldog. Absolutely. You guys are awesome. And we need to just take time I think we need to take time this week to just pray and thank God for our our servicemen and women who have paid that ultimate sacrifice, for our mamas that brought us into this world and then cleaned it and powdered our behinds in more ways than one. Make sure we had something to eat every day.
Yeah, and I think it's also a good idea, if you're out and about throughout the weekend, um, strike up conversation and remind somebody what it's for. It's not a hamburger and hot dog weekend, even though we might enjoy those through this weekend, but it's just there's probably people out there that don't have any idea other than they got a 3-day weekend and they're heading off to the lake or whatever, and it's sad. So let's just try to spark up a conversation at the grocery store or wherever, and remind people what the weekend's for, or what it's honoring, I guess.
Bama Dad, you know your mama put baby powder on you every time she changed your diaper. Boy, quit acting like that. Tanning, yeah. When it got really bad, you had to go cut your own switch. Am I the only one that had to go cut your own switch?
No.
More times than I want to count. Mom sent me out back, bring in a switch. I'd try bringing a little piece of, scrawny old piece of ivy or something like that. Nope, get out of there. She wouldn't be happy I come in with a 2x4.
Yeah. This is the honest God truth. Our first grade teacher, you got in trouble, she'd open her desk drawer, open the blade on a jackknife, send you outside the bushes out there to cut your own switch that she's gonna whoop you with. I mean, first grade, hand you a knife, go cut your own switch.
You learned a lot of lessons really fast that way, boy.
Ooh, Lord bless his heart. Y'all pray for Jason Stewart. He grew up with a willow tree in the yard.
So did I, Jamie. It was in
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I would get a big hickory and leave the leaves on it. She'd make me strip them off. Yeah. Let me get something for James Pugh right quick. Let me see if I can find something for him. I think I know exactly where something. I want to get him a cartridge overall length. Y'all carry on. We're about to start wrapping this thing up here. We got Gizzard Gary's coming on later, ain't he?
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Talking about, I don't know what the deal's about switches and sticks, but I remember my grandma, like, if you're using the kit around the kitchen anywhere, and if you was getting into something you shouldn't be, most usually a wooden spoon
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, always had a wooden spoon on quick draw, man.
Yeah. I got the hairbrush more than once too. Yeah. I guess I was more of a little monster than I remember when I start thinking about it. I got licked pretty well. And it was usually from mom. Dad was a physician. He was out working till all hours of the night, general practice. And it was usually mom that was doing the damage, and she didn't pull any punches. None of this wait till your daddy gets home.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Hillbilly, I was going to admit that. I never cut a switch for myself, but my mom had a wooden spoon. It was right there in the drawer, and it was ready. That thing came out quicker than a... Whew,
whew. Exactly.
You ever try the trick of shoving a magazine or something down the back of your pants first? I tried that once.
no.
I got 2 lickings that time. I don't know why I thought that'd work, but
MCK as a dish soap. We didn't have dish soap. We had lava soap. If anybody's ever washed their hands with that stuff, imagine putting that in your mouth. Oh.
You'd end up having a tongue like a cat for a month after.
Hey, there's Willie. Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, Willie.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, Bama Dad, we lived in a little town, less than 10,000 people when I was a kid. And my dad, he did a lot of barter for his medical practice. He'd bring home flats of strawberries and a chicken, or, you never knew what he was going to get, but he never denied anybody's, service for sure.
Yeah, I had a good friend. His dad and his grandpa was a doctor, and he lived just south of us in Arkansas. But pretty much every place in that town that sold his T-shirt or sold food, he could go there and eat for free because they were bartering back and forth with either his dad or grandpa that was doctors. Oh my goodness. So
Yeah, we got the over the driver's seat SWAT more than once. Mom or Dad, we'd be sitting there, and my sisters and I feuding away in the back seat, and thwack.
Oh yeah.
Most of the time without warning, they'd take it until they were full up to their ears with it, and then the smacking began.
Try crawling that back window, because most usually all the cars you can lay down that back window.
You get on that ledge back there. Yep. There's garage guy. Hey, Mark.
You ever notice this last place you look where you find anything?
Yeah. I'd hate to think of you, keep on looking after you found it.
Yeah,
most usually I'm looking for something, I find the stuff I was looking for before.
Yeah.
These are all shot up. I can't believe I ain't got 35 Remington just laying everywhere. Anyway. All right, we're going to start going through the room, and we're going to do something different at the end. So, yeah. I hope y'all like it, and I hope I can make it work as seamlessly as possible tonight. And I know I won't. So, who wants to go first? Oh, Hillbilly's got to go first because he might have to go help Gary.
No, yep.
Uh, yeah, man. I just want to thank you all first of all for having me on here. I really appreciate it. Always fun, great way to start off, weekend. Side chat's always amazing too. I have coming up, we got Guns, Beer, and Therapy tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. So if you ain't done nothing, come by and see us. We try to have a good time over there. And I got some videos coming out, and I've just been so busy working on my daughter's house that I'm behind on comments, I'm behind on videos and all that stuff. And so anyway, I really apologize for that. But anyway, after this weekend, I think everything will be back to normal. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for having me. Always have a blast. Appreciate y'all and love y'all very much.
Thanks for being here, brother. We appreciate you more than you know. Gene, you ready?
You're muted, Gene.
Dang it, Hillbilly's here.
That's it. That stuff flows downhill, man.
I mean, I did it. I did it for you earlier, buddy. All right, but
You did.
I didn't mean that time. So I'm sorry.
He did you proud.
Don't mean to step on your toes. Well, I feel you, Hillbilly. I'm behind on videos too. I'm behind on doing a lot of things. Just summer's kicked off here, and the shooting competitions are hot every weekend. Sometimes Saturday and Sunday, depending on where I'm shooting at. Just trying to get caught up on everything, but it will happen. Oh, man, thanks for having me on. Been a good night. Had a good What's Hot Pot Got. I really like that cartridge. That's a banger.
We're all going to go build one of those now, right?
Maybe. Wait for that tax refund to come in. Maybe put that to some good use. Oh, thanks for having me on. Been a great chat. Just been a quiet time for me tonight. But, man, everybody just always remember to keep blowing that smoke.
Thanks for being here, Gene. We love you, brother. Mr. Walter, you want to go next?
Sure, I'll go next. Let's see what's happening at Casa de Viejo. Everyone's been busy, and I think it's partly because summer's approaching, and some of the folks that are working in the school system, this time of year it gets real busy and real nasty, and you're working harder and faster and longer these last couple of weeks than you did the previous couple. That's for sure. But so it's understandable. Everybody there's just a lot of different directions. As far as what I got going on, we had another Free the Few video that went up on the Rumble channel today. And I thought I was done with that, but then I found 4 more jars of, partial jars of bullets back on the back shelf. A couple of them I don't even remember casting. They've been sitting there that long, so I don't know why I cast them in the first place. I don't think I even ever shot any of them. So anyway, we still got another month worth of that stuff going on. That's every Friday on the Rumble channel only. And we got chapter 10 of the 45 ACP shootout coming up on Monday, and we're going to talk a little bit more about cartridge overall length and seating depth and what affects cartridge overall length with handgun rounds in that episode, because a couple questions had come up about that. We did a little bit last week. We're going to do a little bit more. And I'm going to try to get a video out this week. I've been saying I'm going to do it, and I've got most of the video shot, but with the magazine the bullet magazine, the rotary magazine that Lee makes for their bullet feeder die, a multi-tube magazine. I haven't found a whole lot of use for that for anything other than cast bullets, because now they have a way that you can fill that right out of your bullet sizing die. So you wait till you're ready to load, and you size your bullets right into that magazine, and then stick it on the press, and away you go. So I've got some video. It's going to be two different videos with that. And the first one, I'm going to try to get that out this weekend, and that'll be a YouTube video. So that's what's going on over here. I appreciate the invitation as always. I look forward to Friday and Saturday night as well. All week long, those are the kind of the bright spots of my Friday and Saturday are with these two boys right over here. And all the rest of us, because we're all in the same place at the same time. Usually it seems like, but it's a great show, and we had a lot of fun with the side chat over there. Talking about everything under the sun, just about everything from getting our behinds tanned to to what Memorial Day is all about. So, and it was all good. So, thanks a lot.
Thanks for being here, Walter. We appreciate you. I'm looking forward to that video, by the way. Mark Thomas, what you got coming up? I want to see a trombone video.
Well, I will try to do that sometime this evening, even if it's a late upload. I'll get that up there. Who knows what else I've got coming up? I have been shooting a whole bunch of little clips of this Jeep project that I've been working on, replacing the upper shock mounts in the back of that little green Jeep, grinding, cutting, welding, just stuff that I don't usually get to do. So I'm going to try to get that one put together, hopefully get that project squared away. Still got a couple of guns that I haven't shown that I bought recently that I haven't got to the range. I think I mentioned it last week that I bought a new canoe. Bought myself a nice Grumman aluminum one. I got a permit to launch that today, and I'm going to get it cleaned up and maybe get it out this weekend. So if I do, we'll shoot something. Otherwise, who knows? Just been wonderful to be here this evening. Been looking forward to it all week. It's always one of those highlights. It's just something to look forward to. So thank you for having me. Thanks to the side chat for rocking along and being great. Just been a wonderful time this evening. Thank you very much. So we'll pass her on to you, Jamie. Thanks everybody.
For being here. Thanks for being here, Mark. We appreciate you. CW, what you got coming up?
Oh, I got a couple of videos. I got a couple more reloading stuff. I got a couple more range videos. I took another trip with the 22. Like Walter said, I've been playing a lot with the 22s and having a ball. I found a couple of online sources for some brands and flavors that I have never been able to try before. So that's kind of neat, and it's shooting really well. I'm having a lot of fun with that Ruger Precision as well as my Squirrel. I've got some more 8mm stuff coming up. I got some more 30-06 stuff coming up, and hopefully I get this 6.5 figured out and get that back to shooting. I made a purchase this week that'll be coming up in a upcoming video. I decided to restock my 6mm, so that should be good. And there's Chad Kelly right at the last minute. Good to see you, bud.
Hey, Chad.
That's probably about it. I got a couple of other ideas, and I got videos in the queue out to the I think I'm out to the 16th or 17th of June. So video a day continuing, and I got a couple days in there where we got 2 videos. So morning and afternoon. That's about it. We'll see what else I come up with. And of course, I'll come in with anything that's pertinent or needed to be shown right away and shuffle things around. But that's about it.
Awesome. Can I make a suggestion to Mark Thomas? I got an idea, but you could get 2 videos in one trip Put that canoe on the water and take your 12 gauge and shoot your 12 gauge out the back side, see if it'll move you on up the water. Propel that canoe.
Well, I think it might, and if it won't, I'll take along that 10 gauge I've been hauling out for hunting turkeys. And that one will definitely scoop me along.
I bet it would.
Turn you over, man.
Scare the fish right out of the water.
Sometime remind me to tell you the story of the 2 Labradors, the canoe, and the shotgun.
Sounds like a Dirty Johnny joke or something.
Oh, no, it's not a joke, but it was sure funny to watch. It kept about 14 people completely entertained for about a half an hour.
Yeah, we'll set some time aside for that one.
Yeah. Guys, we want to thank all y'all for watching, for spending your Friday evenings with us. Side chat, thank you. Panel, thank you so much. We love you, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. And we hope the Lord blesses y'all real good. And we're going to leave y'all with something special for Memorial Day, and I hope it works. No